An absolute thriller to start this doubleheader night in D.C. And now the next duel in the district will be two more great teams, two more great programs steeped in history, and hopefully, and most probably, another great game to come as the Spartans of Michigan State University, led by their legendary head coach Tom Izzo and their great point guard Jeremy Fears Jr., takes on the Huskies from the University of Connecticut, winners of two of the last three national championships. The winner moves on to play Sunday evening against Duke in the East Regional Final. Hello, one and all. I'm Matthew Owens. Welcome back to D.C. Thanks for having us in for Game 2 of the night in this East Regional that has already lived up to the hype from our first game between Duke and St. John's. The Blue Devils with an 80-75 win to oust Rick Pitino's Johnnies and move on to the Elite Eight. Now they will be joined by either UConn or Michigan State. What a matchup this is. The coaching matchup, it's great. The teams, they're great. The history is great. Everything is great about this game, and we're so excited for it. Michigan State 27-7 on the season with wins last weekend over North Dakota State and Louisville out in Buffalo. Dominant win over the Bison. It wasn't as dominant numbers-wise against Louisville, but they were never really in danger of losing to the Cardinals. They won that one 77-69. And this MSU team, well, the engineer of it all is Jeremy Fears Jr., the sophomore from Joliet, Illinois. Leads the country in assists at over 9 a game. He also leads Michigan State in scoring in 15 points per game. And last week, dishing out many assists. Try 27 total assists dished out by Fears in the two games last week, and 11 against NDSU and 16 in the win over Louisville. Meanwhile, for UConn at 31-5 on the season, last week they played in Philadelphia, beating Furman by 11 and UCLA by 16. Terrace Reed Jr. had one of the all-time great performances in the win over Furman in tournament history, as he had 31 points and 27 rebounds in the victory. They played great down the stretch against UCLA, and now here they are in the Sweet 16. UConn 15-1 is their record in NCAA tournament play over the last three tournaments. They're always great in this round, but Michigan State is always great in this round as well. 15-7 all time in Sweet 16 games is Michigan State. 11-5 under Tom Izzo. Ready to go. Winner to play Duke here on Sunday for a spot in the Final Four. Will it be the Huskies of UConn seeded second? Will it be the third-seeded Spartans out of Michigan State? Of course, Duke and Michigan State played in a regional final in this building 7 years ago. Could set the stage for another one on Sunday, as Carson Cooper will jump center with Terrace Reed Jr. Two big men, and the big men are going to be a big focal point tonight in determining this one. We're underway. Michigan State in green with white numbers and trim control the opening tip with Jeremy Fears Jr. at the point, and they get it inside straight away and right to the rim. Jackson Kohler goes, and he lays it in for the first two of the night. Michigan State scores to start. UConn on the ball. Silas Demery back in the lineup along with Solo Ball and Braylon Mullins. The front court, Alex Caravan, one of the best Huskies ever, and Terrace Reed Jr., who has it here up top and hands off to Caravan, and he shoots a straight-on three, and he rips the cords from downtown. And UConn with their first basket of three on their opening possession. Caravan had 27 points against UCLA on Sunday. He was 8 of 17 from three in the first two rounds of the tournament. Michigan State ball. Fears, top of the circle, directs it left, taken by Kohler on the left baseline, back out to Fears. He feeds the right corner. Cohen Carr strokes the three. It misses. Weak side offensive rebound, Jordan Scott. Back to Carr at the foul line, then a return for Fears. Fears with Carr, Scott, Kohler, and Cooper, the starting five, and Fears pulls up just beyond the right elbow with a jumper in the mid-range that he bags. and Michigan State leads at 4-3. UConn in home whites as the higher seed. Blue numbers with subtle dark red trim. Holding the ball is Solo Ball. On the March Madness logo at midcourt, swings it right, Caravan, centered ball for Silas Demery. Entry feed, Reed goes to his left to try to get around Cooper, and Cooper got a hand on the ball to knock it away from Reed as he turned to his left to try to score. Michigan State away with it. Fears directs it off the left wing. Carr has it on the outside, one of the most explosive players in college basketball. Cooper slips it to the right corner. Fears launches a three. It's off the front of the rim, no good. Long offensive rebound to Carr, and Michigan State's got it again. Out of the left corner, it's Scott. Then back up high, Kohler for Fears. Out to his left, turns the corner, head down with a drive. Running floater is a glass and rim miss. Rebound free. It's grabbed at by Demery, who races to it in the backcourt, and he might have stepped out of bounds. He did. It'll belong back to Michigan State. Silas Demery did not play against Furman last Friday in the first round, dealing with an injury that for the most part was undisclosed. Did come back to play Sunday against UCLA. He had 2 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists in that game. Junior out of Raleigh that transferred in from Georgia gets the start tonight. Fears into the front court to our right for Michigan State. High screen Kohler. Fears blitzed with a double. Entry feed. Kohler bangs inside with Reed. Turns over his right shoulder with a hook shot. Missed it short. And the rebound down to UConn. And here come the Huskies with the ball again. Demery up high, slashes left, sees a hole, ball goes to it, kicks it out, Caravan, feeds the right corner, open look at a three, it's Mullins who sinks it. The freshman out of Greenfield, Indiana, can really stroke it from three, just 33% in the regular season. UConn believes he can be better than that. Here's Scott up the right baseline, hits the break, spins, dishes it off for a middle drive down the lane by Cooper, who went up and had it blocked by Reed, but there's a whistle and a foul going against Reed and UConn. Mullins with that three, averaged over 2 made threes a game, 2.2 per game in fact. That was 4th in the Big East. Michigan State the inbound into the left corner. Carr rose up, couldn't find an open shot, so he gave it to Kohler, who then reverted back to Fears. On the midcourt logo, he drives against Demery. Fears in the lane, dishes off Carr, extra feed at the foul line. Cooper, jab step, drive, shot clock winding down. It's at 2, it's at 1. Cooper turns to his right, hook shot missed. It's out of bounds, and it's going to UConn. Good defense by Dan Hurley's Connecticut Huskies. And Dan Hurley, of course, twice a national champion with UConn, his 15th season as a college basketball head coach. 7 of those have been with the Con. He is 16-5 in his career in the NCAA tournament. Took Rhode Island to the tournament twice. Before that was at Wagner. As here's the Huskies into the front court here. Handled by Demery. Dribbles to the middle of the floor, edge of the March Madness logo at midcourt, slings it right, Mullins has it. Mullins is defended by Kerr Tang just into the game, and he gives it to Reed, and Reed flies in and dunks it down. Terrace Reed Jr., Flight 5 is clear for landing. As I said, one of the all-time great individual single-game performances in the history of this tournament against Furman last week, as a foul called against UConn here, an entry feed for Carr, and he gets contacted down to the floor. 31 points and 27 rebounds in that game against Furman. Absolutely tremendous what Reed did in that game, which UConn, outside of Reed, did not play overly well. They did struggle in that game. And they only got separation late because of what Reed did. Inbound out to Cam Ward, freshman from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. That's not the former Carolina Hurricanes goalkeeper, and it's also not the current Tennessee Titans quarterback, Cam Ward. Here he is, mid-post left. A bat down on Reed. That's a tough proposition, but nifty footwork got him around him. But when he got to the rim, he missed the layup. Caravan got the rebound, and he was hobbling a bit as he came up the floor, but he looks to be okay. Demery feeds Caravan, off right wing, entry feed. Reed drives the baseline, nearly stepped out of bounds, whipped a pass into the left corner, extra pass finds Mullins on the wing, he's open for 3, it's off the heel. Caravan skies high for a weak side offensive rebound, shot back up top for Ball. He'll drive the closeout to the rim, he goes with the left hand, glass and rim miss, it hung on the front of the rim and would not fall. Rebound Sparty. Fears into the front court, feeds it left, here goes Carr, gliding to the rim, and he draws a foul on a bump. And that'll lead to a timeout on the floor. First media timeout of the night. That foul on Silas Demery, and Cohen Carl have free throws out of the timeout as we're just underway. Second game of the night in D.C., UConn and Michigan State. The winner going to the regional final to play Duke here in D.C. on Sunday. Now, we've got JT with us again. He is watching Banana Bowl. And JT, I think you also have an update for us from Chicago. Alabama led top-seeded Michigan at halftime. How's it turned out?
Yep, back in Chicago. And, well, Michigan 90, Alabama 77.
Oh, order restored.
Not a sweet ride into the Elite 8 for Alabama in the Sweet 16. Michigan sailing through, and, well, they are the elite in the Midwest region.
And the next game up in Chicago will be Tennessee and Iowa State. And the winner of that game will play Michigan on Sunday in the Midwest Regional Final. And we have tip times for Sunday now. The regional finals on Sunday at 2:15 in Chicago, Michigan, to play the winner of Iowa State and Tennessee. That's at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. And then Sunday evening at 5:05, it will be Duke against either UConn or Michigan State. So the regional final schedule is set. Those two games on Sunday. Tomorrow, the other two games, of course, starting with the South Regional Final in Houston, Iowa, and Illinois will tip off at 6:09. And then Arizona and Purdue in the West Regional Final will tip off at 8:49 p.m. Eastern Time. All four of these games will be here on this channel, Ultimate Sports Media Net. This is our backup channel. If you're, getting to us, yes, this is the backup channel, which we will have on standby for the future, and we have it on standby this weekend because of happenings last Sunday, actually. JT, you mentioned this earlier.
Mickey!
So you mentioned earlier that you had correctly predicted the Purdue-Arizona regional final. How is your bracket doing, is the question.
I don't even know at this point.
Oh, jeez. I'm fairly sure you had all the 1s and 2s in your regional finals.
Yes, I did.
And if that's the case, then you've got Arizona, Purdue exactly right. You have Duke in there, and could be right with Michigan State, or with UConn if they win tonight. You've got Michigan, and if Iowa State wins tonight, you'll have that. So you will have had, if UConn and Iowa State win, you'll have 6 of the 8 correct. And that's pretty good.
Look at me go.
Cohen Carr out of the timeout misses the first free throw as we get back underway. 15-17 to go. First half. 8-4 the lead, as you can see. UConn in this East Regional semifinal. They're underway in Anaheim with Banana Bowl taking to Disney. Second free throw good by Carr. UConn attacking from our right to our left in this first half. Home white uniforms, dark blue numbers, subtle dark red trim, white shoes, Adidas shoes for the Huskies. Michigan State in their green and white, per usual. Green uniforms, white numbers and white nameplates. That white Spartan logo on the bottom of the left pant short as UConn inbounds, and up the floor they come. Leading 8-5 in the early going as it's handled by Silas Demery. Yo-yo dribble. He'll drive his way inside up the right block. City got caught in the air. Lost the ball, but Terrace Reed recovered it. Flipped it across the lane. Mullins slashing to the rim. Picks up the ball and dunks it down. Great pass by Reed. Mullins gets the basket. It's 10-5. Michigan State at the other end. Cam Ward got tight to the baseline and lost the handle. Ball ends up out of bounds. It's going to stay on this end. Last off UConn. Again, finals tonight. Duke beating St. John's 80-75, and Michigan beating Alabama 90-77. To clinch tickets into the Elite Eight. Michigan State will inbound from underneath. In on the left elbow for Kohler. Kohler up top at the head of the circle. Ward then finds Fears. Fears feeds it to the foul line. Tang turns with a pull-up jumper. Missed it short. Rebound came right back to him. Slithers into the lane. Lost the ball. Caravan on the deck. Had it. Lost it to Kohler. A reset for Michigan State. Shot clock sits at 12. Top of the key. Kohler. He'll launch a three, and that's off the heel. Long rebound comes right back to him. Third chance. Kohler rambles in. Not down. A Husky then tried a backdoor cut across the lane that Ward couldn't handle cleanly. It's out of bounds. Michigan State turnover, and they've gone over 4 minutes since their last made shot from the field. And sloppy play here from Michigan State in the early going. Although they're getting plenty of second and third chances. Already 6 offensive rebounds for a team that rebounds it extremely well. UConn ball up into the front court to our right. Mullins. They get it inside. Reed. Low post right. He turns around on Kohler. Hooks it up. Glass and rim miss. And the rebound found by Ward. Outlet it on for Fears. Fears right-handed dribble. They've missed their last 8 from the field here, Michigan State. A very chilly start shooting the ball. Short corner left is Tang. Defended by Mullins, slips it outside Kohler, up top Fears, shot fake. He got Malachi Smith to go airborne. Fears finds space on the left elbow for a jumper that he misses. Another offensive rebound, and they work it around the horn. Now an entry feed Ward, mid-post left, turning on Mullins, goes up. Mullins got a piece of the ball, and it ends up going out of bounds off of Ward. It'll go back to UConn again. Great defense by Mullins, outsized. On the interior is the 6'6 freshman from Indiana. Makes a fine defensive play right there, though. And Michigan State, boy, are they struggling mightily. They've missed 11 of their first 13 shots from the field. UConn, one of the top shot-blocking teams in the country. A block there by Mullins, who handles the ball at the other end. Swings it up top, and now they get it on the wing for Jaden Ross out of Bristow, Virginia. Feeds the left corner. Caravan cuts in, plays it back out. Entry feed. Back out on the left wing. Malachi Smith takes a pass from Ryba, the 7-footer from Germany, and Smith elevates and hits a three that bounced twice off iron and goes down. It's 13-5. Michigan State ball. And they double Cooper, who tried to toss it out to the perimeter, deflected and stolen by Mullins. Floated ahead in transition, where fumbling but recovering is Malachi Smith. 10-1 run here that UConn is on. Smith on the hash mark, outside right, dances, cuts to his left, entry feed. Caravan collapses to the rim. He catches and scores, and it's 15-5 UConn. Getting it done on both ends of the floor right now. Michigan State back the other way. No timeout here from Tom Izzo. They only have 5 points, and they have not made a shot from the field in the last 6.5 minutes. They've missed 11 of 13 from the field. Top of the circle is Cooper. Turns, hands off. Trey Fort, 24-year-old veteran out of Florence, Mississippi, takes a long two just inside the left arc. It misses short, but a foul is called. And let's see, is that foul on the floor is the question here, because no, it's going to be in the act of shooting against Mullins. So a chance to end this scoring drought here for Trey Fort at the free throw line, who rarely misses free throws. He is 94% for the season. First one here is no good, though. Wow. Nothing going down here in the early going for Michigan State. Fears to the bench to get a breather. And Fears doesn't get a lot of breathers. He averages 32 minutes a game. One more for Fort. At his 4th school in as many seasons. He's played at Tennessee Martin, Mississippi State, Samford, and now this year at Michigan State. He hits the second free throw. As I said, he's 24 years old. 24-year-old college basketball player. Malachi Smith on the outside. UConn in control early. Smith feeds the right corner. Three is launched, and that goes down. And they're just not missing. Ball out of the corner. The net barely moves as he hits the three, and now Tom Izzo has seen enough. Timeout taken by Michigan State as Ball got an open look. Net barely moved. It's UConn blitzing Michigan State out of the gates, an 18-6 lead.
What am I watching?
Don't ask me that question. In case you're wondering, JT is it's the most magical time of the day for JT, as Banana Ball is indeed on.
I told you it would be Disney heavy, didn't I?
You did.
There was a Phineas and Ferb walk up just there. Hold on, stand by. JB production mic check. It is that time, Matthew.
Oh boy. So you were talking to the person that knows absolutely nothing about Disney. Who did you say was just out there?
Phineas and Ferb.
See, I'm famous for not having watched Disney and all that stuff most of the time, or at least half the time. I know what you're talking about. I've never once heard of whatever you just said. Are those people?
They're fictional characters. Anyway, tip-off time. Update tip-off time. Tennessee, Iowa State. Currently 2:36 a.m. GMT. Quick math. 10:36 Eastern. Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
That is right. JT,
I should probably add my second account into the other Discord voice chat. That might be a good idea.
I do like how March Madness just had to, or maybe we should put it as Formula One just had to have these Asian races during March Madness. And now we
very nearly had a announcer caught foul ball. I'm not joking.
Oh, that's happened many times in minor league baseball for sure.
But it counts as an out in Banana Ball.
Oh, if the announcers do it as well. I knew it counts as an out if a fan catches a foul ball. Okay.
I assume it counts as well.
Is the announcer considered a fan? Oh, we have controversy in Banana Ball. Does the announcer count as a fan or not? No one knows. Meanwhile, what we do know is UConn is up 18-6 here with under 12 minutes to go in this first half. And Michigan State out of that timeout, inbounding here. As I was saying, by the way, this is, JT. It's his crazy time. He's watching Banana Ball. He's scoreboarding basketball. He's producing Formula One on another channel. It's just great. Michigan State out of the timeout. Trey Fort lets a three fly from straight away. It misses off back iron. Rebound popcorn into the hands of Solo Ball. It has been all UConn here on the start. And Jaden Ross handles the ball here before he slings it up top. Smith around a hedge, gives it up top. Ryba, handoff ball, turns the corner, drive and kick to the left corner. Leads Jalen Stewart to an open three, and he rolls it around the rim and drops it down. Stewart hits the three ball out of the corner pocket, and it is all UConn here, 21-6. Michigan State ball once again as turning down the lane. Denham Wojcik, who's rarely used off the bench, missed the runner, and the rebound got pinballed around, out of bounds into the UConn bench, and that's going to UConn. And we've got a timeout on the floor with about 11 minutes left in this first half, and it is all UConn here out of the gates as Michigan State cannot buy a shot. They've missed 13 of their first 15 from the field, and UConn has blitzed Michigan State. We have another new voice and guest joining us here. Pierre Moss was with us earlier. We hope to have him on a little bit later as well, after he called on a different platform, Michigan's win over Alabama. Now Seth Eves joins us, fresh from somewhere. And Seth, hello to you. Good
evening. Good to be here. Yeah, getting it narrowed down. We're down to what, just 10, and then 8 by the time the night ends. It's exciting. I see that UConn has wasted no time uh, getting everything all revved up. I tell you what, man, that's just that is a real freaking shock that the DC finals, the 5 o'clock game Sunday. That's just and a shock they announced it that quickly too.
Staggering, absolutely staggering.
It is nuts. Still about 14 minutes away from tip off in Chicago with Tennessee and Iowa State. Of course, yeah. So it's already bad enough that you're gonna have me involved here in this. Well, now you're gonna have Pierre, victim to my nervousness and my reaction to a Tennessee game. That's great. Boy, you're really banking on my misfortune tonight. But anyway,
we'll talk off air about what happened earlier tonight, but we won't talk on air about it.
we definitely won't talk on air about it, Matthew. Jesus.
No.
45 seconds, baby. Hello, Seth.
Oh, it is.
How are you?
It is crazy time for
Good,
JT. He's watching Banana Ball, scoreboarding basketball,
Matthew.
and producing Japanese Grand Prix FP something.
JB, 30 seconds.
Matthew.
Yes.
Mr. Fears apparently is at it again.
What has
He
he done?
said, well, he was after he had a pull-up jumper, he was yelling and smiling toward the UConn bench and said, "Don't go under."
Uh-huh.
That was Michigan State's last made basket.
Yes. Well,
It's funny how that works.
UConn is on an 18-2 run since then, and Michigan State has missed their last 12 shots from the field. So, UConn with a hot start, 21-6 in front. Football score here in D.C. That's normally the score the Commanders
Michigan
were down
State,
by today, this year.
It's not Kevin. I don't even know who the commissioner of the Big Ten is. Whoever it is,
Isn't it Petitti?
has to be royally pissed right now because you're screwing it up for the rest of us.
Isn't it?
I mean, the Big Ten's been running stuff in this tournament, chasing that elusive championship.
It's Petitti, is it not?
That's right. It is Petit. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
UConn,
Thank you. You are a giant in a world of shriveling little people.
UConn restarts play up by 15 in their home whites in the hands of Malachi Smith. Another guard from the Bronx on this floor tonight. Feeds it up top. Ball straight on three. It's down. Solo ball. Fills it up from three, and UConn can't miss. They're up 24-6. And now Michigan State on this end of the floor where they've missed their last 12 shots from the field. Fears a wraparound pass up top. Scott driving up the middle in traffic. Lost the ball. Taken out of the pile by Jalen Stewart. Ahead in transition to the rim. Driving layup is missed. The follow wouldn't go either. His body's hit the deck. First it was Stewart, then it was Ball. And we've got a whistle and a foul, and it's on Michigan State. And it's against... Well, we'll try to confirm who it's against on Michigan State, but it'll send Stewart to the line. And UConn is on an absolute tear. Stewart, the junior from Seattle, was on the championship winning team in 2024. Knocks down the first free throw. Guy that hasn't taken many free throws all year. That was just his 26th of the year. Mullins checks back in. Great start to the game from Mullins, the freshman from Indiana. Checks back in. Jordan Scott, the freshman, goes to the bench for Tom Izzo, who is searching for early answers. His team is down 19 as the second free throw is missed. Sparty with the rebound, outletted for Fears, cross court for Carr. Carr off left wing, centered ball Cooper. Back around to Fears. They haven't hit a shot from the field in the last 8.5 minutes. Fears slips it into the left corner. Carr leaps into the lane through traffic, wriggling free with the left hand. He gets to the rim and lays it in. Finally, a basket from someone in green. 25-8. Just past the midway point of this first half. UConn on the ball once again. Stewart has it. Feeds it back up top. Smith holds by his right hip. Plays catch on the perimeter with ball. Fears defending Smith. What a matchup that is. Ryba a screen. Drive inside Smith. Kick left corner. Stewart a catch, a gather. A baseline drive, a spin cycle move, a right-handed floater off the side of the rim. Rebound down to Michigan State with Cam Ward. Not the former Hurricane goaltender, not the current Titan quarterback. Into the right corner, Tang. Cuts back to his left. Feeds the left corner. Carr's free to fire. His three was halfway down and popped out. Rebound to Connecticut. Malachi Smith blazes forward into the front court. High screen Ryba, who rolls in. He gets the pass. Ryba to the rim, and he can't hit the shot on his way to the orange rim to our left because Ward stepped in the way and fouled him, and the 7-footer from Germany will head to the free throw line, Eric Ryba. Well, we talked about how the big people would probably determine this game. And Eric Ryba, of course, one of 2 7-footers. Well, Reed is not technically a 7-footer. He might as well be 6'11", as Ryba misses the first free throw. But one of the 2 really big ones that they can cycle in between 6'11" Reed and 7'1" Ryba. Stewart gets a breather as he takes to the bench along with Smith. A 25-8 start here for UConn. Second in the Big East behind only St. John's. Top 2 finishers in the Big East, both on this court tonight. Brilliant bracketing. Ryba's second free throw is up and off the heel, no good. Rebound is secured two-handed by Michigan State's Cam Ward. Feeds it ahead for Fears, who finds Carr on the left wing. His entry feed, and it's a beautiful move. Kohler up the left baseline, spinning around a defender into the rim. He lays it in. It's 25-10. Under 9 to go first half. Kohler has 4 of Michigan State's 10 points. Mullins, centered ball for Ryba. Entry feed. Mullins left alone underneath. He missed the layup. He felt the footsteps of the defender Kerr Tang, who was trying to get back to him. Fears the other way, and we've got a whistle and a foul away from the ball. It's against UConn. Kohler with a great pirouette, sharp turn past Ryba. 25-10. Michigan State to inbound. Shot clock at 23. They'll inbound from underneath. Ball given into the hands of Ward. He'll try to trigger it in. Tang came free on the left wing. Ward couldn't get it to him. Now he does get it in. Left corner for Kerr Tang. Now back up top, Fears. Kerr has it again. Off left wing, Mullins defending. Now Fears up high, takes a screen from Kohler. They blitz Fears with a double. It stays in his hands with 10 to shoot. He wants another screen from Kohler. He gives it to him. Fears darts a pass inside. Trying to get positioning was Carr on Caravan. Contact underneath the cylinder. It's a foul on Caravan, as he got twisted up with Carr. Carr will go to the line, one of the most explosive players in the sport, playing his 107th game in a Michigan State uniform. First free throw is good. 63% foul shooter out of Stockbridge, Georgia. One thing that even in the NIL and transfer portal era, one thing that stays the same, it would seem, with Tom Izzo's program, players stay. Carr's second free throw is good. Tonight, his 107th game in a Michigan State uniform, as I mentioned earlier, mentioned just a moment ago. Jackson Kohler is in his 127th game in a Sparta uniform. Reed back on the floor for UConn. He backs it up the left lane line and shovels it across the lane to a cutting Demery, who gathers the catch in and lays it in on the glide. Reed gets the assist. Demery the basket after not playing last Friday in the first round against Furman. Didn't play all that much against UCLA. He was in the lineup tonight. It's 27-12 at the other end. Running floater Fears. Missed short. Rebound popped back out to Scott. Another offensive rebound for Michigan State. They've gotten a lot of them early. Haven't taken advantage. Here's Fears on the dribble. Outside lefty shut off. Spun outside Tang. Timer at 10 to the right elbow. Kick right corner. Carr thought about the three. Didn't take it. Back for Fears up high. Screen Kohler. Fears crossover dribble. He fumbles it. Only one to shoot. He leans into a three. It's off the heel. Rebound tapped around. It was Kohler going up against Mullins, and Kohler's called for a foul. And that'll lead to a timeout on the floor with under 8 to go first half. It is 27-12. JT?
Can I direct your eyes to the banana ball screen where we have a different type of March Madness going on right now?
What is happening? Is this a baby race? Is this one of those toddler races?
Much generational madness
But are they
is
racing?
happening right now. There's 3 generations from
somebody
2
won.
families.
It's time to
And-
drop the binky.
God, shut up! You're so stupid. You're a first-class moron.
We all know that.
Time to drop the beat. Time to drop the binky. And there this guy is. This is the biggest night of his life, probably.
Oh, is that the guy right there, JT, that I called the shirtless man from a couple of weeks ago, but he was actually wearing a shirt. It was just buttoned up, or it was unbuttoned. And
That was a different one, but we just had
The Indianapolis Clowns.
We just had the biggest of biggest dumps.
Huh? Pause. Yes. Here's our next project, Seth.
Oh God.
Do an Indianapolis Clowns game with the Delta Force theme.
Oh, sure.
Fake,
Oh, drop.
fake baseball in America.
Oh God, please. Dear God. Jerry Baker at first base.
For dozens of days, the Banana Ball League has been the highlight of America.
God.
We do have the Banana Ball Open coming up.
The Banana Ball Open.
The Open.
Is that where the top?
Yes,
is that where the top 2 banana ballers advance to the All-Star race?
God.
uh,
JT's getting more tickled than I am. That rarely happens.
Listen, he went through it in the first game, but we won't talk about it on air.
we shall not talk about it on air. Jeez, no. The Banana Ball Open. At the end of the game, before they go into the Banana Ball Open, the top 4 teams go into the Banana Ball Open. The winner of the Banana Ball Open automatically gets a playoff spot. Matthew said they do not have to fight for the rest of the season.
Aren't there only 6 teams in this league?
There are only 6 teams in this league.
So why do they have a playoffs?
That's a garbage system.
I mean,
Because
I don't.
Banana Ball.
I don't like playoffs in stick and ball sports now. Damn it. Now, we do not need playoffs.
Matthew, that's disingenuous, don't you know?
Yeah, I know.
I thought you'd be smarter
here
than
we go.
that. That's disingenuous.
Now, I want to know, is there a Banana Ball Hall of Fame? Because...
Oh, shut up. Oh, God, please.
Because-
I don't think there's a Banana Ball
We're
Hall of
back from
Fame,
break.
but I know that the Savannah Bananas and Banana
Tracy's talking
Ball
to
is in the
Matthew's
Baseball
favorite
Hall of
coach.
Fame.
We're about ready to come out of break.
Yeah, we've restarted. UConn into the front court. If there is a Banana Ball Hall of Fame, is it all-encompassing as all of baseball, or is it, the other leagues? But the other leagues aren't supposed to be minor leagues. Here's a steal by Fears, and he leads the rush to the basket. Reverse layup is good with the right hand. I don't think Justin Allgaier would get in that one either. 27-14 with under 7 to go. Silas Demery into the front court for UConn. Michigan State trying to find a rhythm, trying to find a track to get the train onto. Outside left, handled by Demery along the arc to his right. Entry feed on the inside. Reed got clattered on top of by Trey Fort. And a foul is called. 4th team foul to go against Michigan State.
And we got a marching band to the Banana Ball. If Michigan State doesn't make this a game, we are in big trouble.
That foul was on the floor. Apparently it's a Disney celebration game, as the inbounds pass was to Demery, but there was a whistle.
I must say,
foul.
this will be about as competent and professional as anything the team that actually plays in this park will put out on that field this year.
Playing a wind instrument with his feet. Now he's picked it up and he's gyrating and dancing at home base.
Oh, thank God. Oh, my God.
Inbound out to Reed, who catches on the perimeter, shovels it back to Mullins. Mullins cuts to his left on the wing, had the ball popped out of his hands, stolen off the floor by Kohler. Outletted for Fears, whose cross-court pass for Ting was knocked out of bounds by an outstretched arm of Demery. So UConn led by 19. Now it's a 13-point game. JT fixing the clock. JT need to add some fouls to Michigan State, by the way. Here's Fears on the dribble. Directs a bounce pass to his right. Fort feeds it in. Kohler. They draw a double on him, and Kohler tried to toss it to the perimeter. It was deflected and stolen by Caraban. Caraban off to Demery in transition. Demery sets the offense. Ball reversal to Ball. Ball drives the lane and tried to kick it out to Caraban. He got hip checked to the ground, though, did Solo Ball. And that's another foul on the floor against Michigan State. That's 6 team fouls now against the Spartans. And UConn will have a chance to add to their lead at the free throw line the way this is going, because they're going to be in the bonus from here on out. Second foul on Fort. Inbound from underneath. Demery trying to get it in. He does to Reed. Mid-post right. Reed trying to back down on Cooper. Reed just dwarfs him, and Reed goes to his left hand and scores off glass. Carson Cooper is 6'11", 245, but somehow Terrace Reed just looks so much bigger. He's got 20 pounds on him, but they are the same height. Whistle at the other end. Foul on the floor going against UConn this time. Yeah, they're the same height at 6'11", but Reed's got 20 pounds on Kohler, and he used all of that extra luggage right there to get around him. UConn by 15. Inbound will come near side front court. Scott trying to get the ball in. He does. Top of the arc. Fears. Cuts left. Bounces it to Kohler. Senior from American Fork, Utah, across the lane to the right elbow. Scott pulls up with a jumper. Swirling miss. Rebound Reed. UConn back the other direction, attacking right to left. Home white uniforms, dark blue numbers, subtle dark red trim. Handled by Smith. Edge of the March Madness logo at midcourt. Colored blue and black. Smith outside right on the hash mark just in front of the Michigan State bench. Tries to twist it inside for Reed. He couldn't handle the pass. It was too far in front of him. Outstretched hand could not lasso it in. It's out of bounds. And UConn's turned it over on 3 of their last 5 possessions.
We got a gasket blowing alert on the sideline over there. Gasket blowing alert.
Boy. Here's Michigan State again up the floor from left to right. Fears, left-handed yo-yo dribble, switches to his right hand, fade screen Scott. Fears around a screen right, elbow up with a lob, and crashing the rim, Carson Cooper slams it down, and the nation's leading assist man, Jeremy Fears, drops a dime right there. It's been a slow start for him and the entire team. Malachi Smith tried to get around a hedge, swings it left, deep 3, Caraban on the wing, clatters off. Rebound taken in by Cooper. Outletted for Fears. He'll start the break, threaded it forward for Carr, and it's stolen, and UConn's got numbers the other way. Malachi Smith, he threads a bounce pass across the lane from right to left. Reed collects and scores. 31-16 off another Reed field goal. He's got 6 in this first half. On the deck, Fears put his head down, wanted to drive inside. Smith tried to stop him. He's called for the foul. 4:15 on the clock. Does seem like Michigan State has found a little bit of fluidity here to their offense, but took a long time to get that. And they trail still by double digits, 15-point margin. Both teams are in the bonus, so this will be a 1-1 at the line for Jeremy Fears, who is an 89% foul shooter. From Joliet, Illinois, about 45 minutes outside of downtown Chicago. First free throw is up, 1-1, and he missed the front end. Rebound is pulled in over the shoulder by Reed. Empty possession again for Michigan State, and UConn will try to take advantage of it. Up top, Reed with a perimeter touch, feeds it left. Jaden Ross quickly directs it to Malachi Smith. Smith directs it on the right wing. Entry feed by Ross. Reed trying to get around Cooper. Faked a spin to the right, went left. Hook shot somehow rolled around the rim and missed. Rebound Cooper. Outletted Fears. Fears will slow the tempo as UConn gets back defensively. Fears along the arc left to right. Whistles a pass inside. Good catch by Ward, and he muscles his way to the rim and lays it up and home. Slowly but surely, Michigan State starting to chip away at this. Trailed by as many as 19 when it was 25-6. Since then, a 12-6 run of sorts to get that margin down to 13. Here's Caravan up top. Extends his arm to hand it out to Smith. Entry feed Reed, mid-post left. A back in on Cooper. Leaps into the lane. Again, he fakes right, goes left. Scores plus the foul. Terrace Reed, unguardable. Late in the clock, did not panic. Went with the fake spin right. Drop step move to the left. And he owns Cooper on that move. Timeout on the floor, 33-18. UConn in front, just north of 3 to go in the first half. Speaking of first half, second game of the day, of the night, in Chicago is underway. And Seth Eves, it's Iowa State and Tennessee, and it's Iowa State down a star.
Yeah, Joshua Jefferson not going to play for Iowa State in this game. It's not hurting him so far. Tennessee just 1 of 8 from the field to start the game. 5-2 Iowa State. Very early days in this one. 16:38 to play in the first half in Chicago. Of course, the winner gets the lucky draw of running into a certain maize and blue buzzsaw. We got the crowd being pumped up at Banana Ball. Like, what's your opinion on Banana Ball in general? Here's mine. Because, there's so many purists, obviously, that hate it. It's not for me, but there's a lot of people that do like it. And I'm of the do what makes you happy department. So, that's where I am on it.
I could not care less about it. And a lot of people would look at that as, oh, you hate fun. Why are you trying to yuck everyone's yum? I'm not. I don't care about it, but if you do, please go. It's a great thing, clearly, to take kids to. And if that gets those 4, 5, 7-year-old kids into the sport of baseball, then, that's great for the sport of baseball. So,
here's something you would never see in Major League Baseball, Matthew.
Yeah, what the hell's going on?
Instead of walking, you have the 4-ball sprint.
Now, here we are again with Sebastiano Esposito. And for the 497th time in the last week, he's coming up the left wing. He gets it to the edge of the D. Oh, it's a great pass, and the shot scores. I've seen that before.
So, with Banana Ball, another thing about it is that might be the only baseball we get next year or in 2 years when the agreement ends.
Yeah, really.
And there's that Roma goal. Never seen that one before, but yes. Matthew, I'm about to send you a text, so check your text here in about a minute or 2 or whatever.
I love how we don't have updated Serie A highlights. Has nothing happened in that league the last 2 weeks?
I believe they're done, I think it's goal of the month they do.
Oh, I was going to say, has every game just finished 0-0? Last 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Right.
What
What's
happened?
happened here?
What happened?
The zone. Hello?
Hello. UConn.
I have not touched anything.
UConn out of the timeout, and the and one free throw by Reed misses.
It's 2:46 a.m.
It's 2:46 a.m. Of course it is. Michigan State ball, and for the head of the arc, a long three is launched and cashed in on by Carson Cooper, and it's 33-21. First 3-point hit for the Spartans. They had missed their first 6. UConn back the other way. Attacking to our left, up high ball. Launches a 3 of his own. That's hard off the rim, no good. And Michigan State's got the rebound. They're within 12 here as the clock Ticks down inside of 2.5 minutes. Fears trying to get around a hedge from Reed. Fears on the left arc. Feeds the left corner. Carr walks it back into the middle of the floor. Looked to get it a return to Fears. That was denied. Up top, Kohler feeds it right on the wing. Scott drives against Caravan. Leans in and muscles it up and home. And after trailing early by 19, Michigan State's within 10. It's 33-23. Timeout taken by UConn. Use it or lose it timeout taken by Dan Hurley, and the hot start that his team had has cooled down just a tick. JT, we'll go off mine until the end of the first half, if that makes things easier for you. And then,
I've got the zone on my screen, which is synced up to yours. So once I get this restarted,
okay,
it'll be good.
Very good.
It is 2:46 a.m. exactly. Every single time.
Every time.
The downstairs skybox restarts and resets itself. And, of course, you can't have the mini boxes not connected to the master box, etc., etc. Anyway, going back to Banana Ball, there are actually some parts of Banana Ball that are not my thing, believe it or not.
Really?
Such
Yes.
as?
And I personally watch it for all of the trick plays.
Yes.
Because some of the behind the backflip catches they do is insane. But I watch it generically, but I'm going to shut up because that was a quick timeout.
Yeah, 30-second timeout taken there by Dan Hurley. UConn gets action restarted here. Top of the circle, handling is Smith. Entry feed Reed. Turnaround hook shot with the right, miss short. Rebound Kohler. Michigan State within 10 and a chance to get even closer as they've made 4 straight shots. Fears, spins, pivots in the middle of the floor. Directs it right for Tang. Top of the key is Carr. Return for Fears. Way outside of the left. Now he hits the Jets. Drives, kicks. Kohler left of the lane. Leans in on the move. Layup misses off glass and rim, but he draws a foul. And Kohler will go to the line. And Michigan State, after trailing earlier by 19, could make it a single-figure margin here if Kohler can hit free throws. Coming up, with 1:26 left in the first half, we've got our halftime report. Seth Eves will give you the down low on the earlier games tonight in Chicago and here in the district, and give an update from Iowa State and Tennessee, and also women's games. We didn't mention any women's scores in the first game. Did that just for you, Seth, because I knew you were coming along. So everyone will get women's scores for the first time at halftime as Kohler hits his first free throw.
And also I have updates. Sorry to interrupt you, from the D2 men's tournament, which could be getting ready to have D2 semifinals, which one of those semifinals could be getting ready to be won by a team from the Palmetto State.
Kohler hits the second free throw. 33-25. Just under a minute 20 to go here in this first half. UConn has dominated the half, but their lead is starting to shrink. Mullins off left arc. Entry feed Reed. He catches well left of the lane. Back out Mullins. Now they were trying to repost it for Reed, but Mullins' pass is out of bounds, and it's a UConn turnover. That was a bounce pass by Mullins intended for Reed, and it just came off of Mullins' fingertips strangely. Wasn't even close to getting to Reed's hands. Out of bounds it goes. A minute to go in this first half as Michigan State brings the ball up. They've hit 7 of their last 11 from the field after missing 14 of their first 16. Carr dealt it on to Fears, who whips a pass on the left wing, and a 3 by Kohler. Skips off the cup. Rebound batted and taken by Ball. Solo Ball in from the left. Explosive drive to the rim. Reverse layup is good. High off glass. Solo Ball with an acrobatic score, 35-25. 35 seconds to go in this first half. Ball with 8 points in this stanza. Midcourt logo, standing dribble by Fears. Fears looks to his right, looks to his left. He'll drive against Emery to the rim and lays it home. Fears on the dribble drive, gets penetration, and gets 2 at the rim. Clock stops with 20 and 7/10 seconds to go in this first half. Shot clock will be turned off here for UConn, who can hold for the last shot of the half if they choose. Caravan inbounds it. And here's Demery. Slow dribble up the floor. He looks over his right shoulder as he walks up to get a call from Dan Hurley, the two-time national championship winning head coach. 10 seconds to go in the half. Given up to Demery, slotted up the middle, Reed, back for ball, flipped over on the right wing, Caravan on the net, drives into a crowd, lost the ball. Kohler picked it up, and then he didn't find an outlet soon enough, so they get no shot up before the half ends. And we reach halftime with UConn leading Michigan State 35-27, and for Michigan State, if you would have told them they'd be only down by 8 at halftime after trailing out of the gates 25-6, they would have taken that in a heartbeat. They end the half on a 21-10 run and make this a competitive scoreline going into the locker room at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. Halftime score, 35-27. UConn out in front. They shot 56% from the field. Michigan State shot only 34% from three. UConn a huge advantage. They were 6 of 9. Michigan State was 1 of 8 from the foul line. Michigan State plus 5 points. 6 made free throws to UConn's 1. UConn missed 4 out of 5 from the line. Big advantage on the glass to Michigan State, out-rebounding UConn 20-13. They had 8 offensive rebounds, did Sparty. Turnovers, 5 apiece, but UConn took bigger advantage of the turnovers than Michigan State did. The Huskies scoring 8 points off the 5 Spartan turnovers. Points in the paint, dead even, 16-16. Largest lead was UConn by 19. They led for 90% of the first half. Their largest lead was 19, as I mentioned, but it's only an 8-point game heading to the locker room. Those are some of the first half figures, and for more at halftime, here's Seth Eves.
Very much, Big Mo, Matthew Owens, indeed, as we are rocking and rolling as the road to Indianapolis is in full swing and trying to get ever closer to the finish. I see that Matthew has muted himself, so
still here.
That
just
means
didn't
I
want to
cannot.
make all kinds
Oh,
of
you're
noise.
still here. Okay, good. All right, good, because I might need you to get me used to a little bit of help. So anyway, UConn 35-27. Matthew ran over the stuff with you here, and I think he hit it on the head. I mean, this looked like it was going to be a complete laugher, like when UConn played a Big Ten team in an Elite Eight game in Boston 2 years ago. Michigan State has found a way, and they're grinding one out here, and it could be for an interesting second half. The other game going on, they've hit the under-12 timeout in the second game in Chicago in the Midwest, and Iowa State has a 13-11 lead against Tennessee. I would say the shot making is non-existent in this game, but that would indicate that they're getting good looks and they're missing. I mean, we're talking some bad misses in the first half of this game. That one. Earlier tonight, in the East, the number 1 overall seed of the tournament, Duke, hung on 80-75 for St. John's. Dylan Darling, the darling of the second round win against Kansas, tried to be the hero again. He came up short. And the Blue Devils, who were down 1 1/2, Matthew Owens, find a way to get to the Elite Eight once again.
Down 1 at the half, down 10 at one point in the second half. That makes Duke 6-0 this season in any games where at any point they trailed by double digits. 6-0. 2-0 in the tournament when they trail by double digits. It was 40-39.
Duke is going to see in the NCAA tournament. I know how that one's going to end then.
It was 40-39 at halftime. Second half scoring was 41-35 Duke. That was a much higher scoring game than most people would have believed it would have to be for St. John's to have a chance. Everyone's been talking all week. St. John's wins this game if it's played in the 50s, low to mid 60s. But St. John's scored really well tonight. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Team plays Duke, and I mean, the basket is the size of a watermelon wagon. For a St. John's team that only averages 7 made threes a game, they had 9 in the first half, 13 for the game. Ruben Prey woke up and I guess prayed to the heavens and had the best game of his life as he hit 4 threes and scored 12 points in 13 minutes. St. John's found themselves up 10 in the second half, and then they didn't melt down. I don't want to create any kind of narrative that St. John's went up by 10 and they stopped playing, they took their foot off the gas pedal, they melted down, whatever. They did not. What happened after St. John's went up 10, Seth, will forever in Durham, especially if they were to go on and win the championship this year. What happened then has to be known as the Caleb Foster sequence. Just 2 weeks since having surgery on a broken bone in his right foot, Foster played tonight, and right when they went down by 10, out of a timeout, Foster scores 7 straight Duke points, scored or assisted on their next 11. And John Shire, that Duke obviously ends up winning it, but John Shire, talking with Tracy Wolfson on CBS after the game, as emotional as I've ever seen John Shire, struggling to come up with the words to describe what Caleb Foster did tonight, Seth, in his 96th career game in a Duke uniform. After missing the last 3 weeks, he comes in and scores 11 points in 19 minutes with a broken bone in his right foot. That should live forever in the lore of Duke basketball. We know with the Duke program it probably will only live in lore if they go on to win the title. But what Caleb Foster did tonight, Isaiah Evans scored 25, Cam Boozer scored 22. What Caleb Foster did tonight it's what sports are about.
Yeah, he was pretty excited, pretty emotional about that. Duke on to the regional final Sunday to play the winner of the game that you are accessing right now. We mentioned Tennessee and Iowa State. Whoever wins that game will have to take on the Maize and Blue Buzzsaw. Michigan was down 2 at the half, and then stop me if you've heard this before, Matthew. They brought the belt out in the second half, outscoring Alabama 43-28. 23 points, 12 boards for Yaxel Lindenborg. Win 34 takes Michigan to its first Elite Eight in 5 years. They beat the Tide 90-77 in Chicago. Aside from their 3 losses, if you're up on Michigan at the half, don't get too comfortable.
Yeah, we call Michigan a great second half team, and it's not because they just don't play in the first half, then they turn it on in the second. What makes them a great second half team is that they have so much depth, their legs are fresher than everyone else in the second half, and they just keep cycling guys in. We've talked about them all year, how they come at you in waves, and when teams are starting to tire out after 28, 34, 38 minutes, Michigan doesn't, because they don't have to play hardly anyone major minutes, and they can just stay fresh. So it's not that Michigan gets better in the second half, it's that they don't regress in the second half when most everyone else does. And Alabama did exactly what we knew Alabama could do. Play at a high pace, hit a lot of threes, and make Michigan sweat it out. But in the end, Michigan just more bodies in the second half. And that, if Michigan is going to win a national championship, that's going to be the key, isn't it, Seth? It's not going to be that they're just so much more talented than everyone else. It's the fact that they're just so much deeper than everyone else. But obviously things still need to happen for this to happen. But if it is Michigan and Arizona, I mean, good Lord, you could see. Good luck to the dope that ends up announcing that game. You could have about 24 different players on the floor in that game.
I tell you, that's going to be, if that is the game, we don't want to, diss Purdue. We don't want to diss Tennessee or Iowa State. But if that's the game, that's like a game most fans have been wanting to see all year long.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick, Matthew, 4 games last night. Arizona dropped 109 on Arkansas in a 109-88 win.
Could have been
Purdue
130.
outlasted Texas. Do I now?
Could have been 130.
Purdue outlasted Texas 79-77. Illinois took down Houston 65-55. And Iowa took down Nebraska 77-71. Previews of the games, of the actual tomorrow's games at the end of the program. But any quick thoughts from any of those 4 games last night you want to share?
At the start of the tournament, I would have been surprised if you told me Illinois beat Houston in Houston, but after I've seen Illinois, it's the most I've watched Illinois this season. I've caught Illinois throughout the year, but the most I've watched them was against Penn and against VCU, a team with real athletic guards on the outside that could have easily given Illinois trouble, and they didn't. I'm not surprised at all that Illinois beat Houston last night. Houston had one of those games that, unfortunately, you always fear that they could have, where they just can't make a shot, can't make a jump shot, and they went a long stretch without doing that last night. So, yeah, Illinois, and you mentioned it, we'll talk about it at the end. Illinois is going to be a pretty sizable favorite tomorrow, but I really like this Illinois team, and I think we talked about it last Thursday, that would have been, late in the Penn game, how they're not getting talked about enough as a team that can make a run for this title. That is a really good Illinois team. You want to talk about a team that comes at you in waves. They have huge bodies, the bodies from the Balkans, and yeah, that's a heck of a team right there.
There is. Brad Underwood's team will play border rival Iowa in the Elite Eight tomorrow.
That's Brad's
Women's
Balkans
Sweet 16
bunch.
You what now?
That's Brad's Balkans bunch.
Indeed. It is Brad's Balkans bunch, indeed. Women's tournament. Hit the X on the wrong tab. Seth, you're an idiot. NCAA women's basketball tournament Sweet 16 started today. One game still in progress. I know you love it when I say the actual names of these regions. Sacramento 2 Regional. I know you just love when I do that.
Sounds so
Duke University
stupid.
leading Louisiana State University 47-40 at halftime in that game.
Wow, 47?
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's weird to me because it seems like the game's being played at LSU's pace, and yet Duke's winning. I didn't expect that to be the case because you had this LSU offense that scores 100 in its sleep, and then you have this Duke boa constrictor on defense. But the Dukies looking good. Whoever wins that game will have to deal with Mount Betts. UCLA won their 34th game of the year tonight, beating Big Ten foe Minnesota. Yes, that is a sentence. 80-56, the Bruins advance into the Elite Eight on Sunday. Top-ranked UConn did not cover the spread in the Fort Worth 1 Sweet 16 game against North Carolina.
Shut your mouth.
In fact, they were actually... What now?
Shut your mouth.
Don't you talk about my fault. And North Carolina was even leading at the end of the first quarter. But unfortunately for Courtney Banghart's and hater of the meanies, it was not a small jam, and UConn eventually turned it on. There were 3 more quarters, and the Huskies go to 37-0 with a 63-42 win. This stuff is flying so over JT's head if he's listening. 21-10 for Sarah Strong. Connecticut wins. They'll play red-hot Notre Dame. Hard to believe this. First Elite Eight for the Irish in the post-Muffet-McGraw era. Neil Ivey to the Elite Eight for the first time. 31 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. I think there was some other category, I think, where she got 10. A triple-double for Hannah Hidalgo. What a performance. Notre Dame sends Vanderbilt packing 67-64. And if anything else, before Sunday, you can at least say it's a throwback to have UConn and Notre Dame playing in a meaningful women's basketball game. But the goodness will probably end on Sunday. On Sunday at either whatever the hell time. They've already announced that as 1 o'clock. That's a shocker. All right, so the 1 o'clock game on Sunday.
Yeah,
UConn
Hidalgo 3 assists shy of a quadruple double in the tournament. 31, 11, 7, and 10 steals. Put some respect on that name.
I was trying to tell people, in the last 2 seasons, and I'm going to say Clark is in this, because, Clark played 2 years ago. Clark, Beckers, Fudd, if you want to throw Reese in there, fine. Juju, they were getting all this attention, and I think it masked how big of a star Hidalgo is. I mean, she's just insane. And she's showing off today. And Notre Dame and Enoch kind of struggled in the regular season. They've caught fire at the right time. They do have a tough task ahead of them, though, on Sunday against the Connecticut Huskies. So that's what's going on in that one. NCAA Division II men's basketball tournament. Of course, usually their semifinals would have been last night and their championship tomorrow, but because of the Indianapolis party deal, hoops party they're having there, things are kind of mixed out a little bit. And how about this? Defending champion Nova Southeastern gone. How about the kids from Greenwood, South Carolina? Landers heading to the championship game for the first time. With a 91-81 win, they'll take on Gannon, who beat Oklahoma Baptist 98-80. So Lander and Gannon, that's your D2 men's championship game a week from Sunday in Indianapolis, in the Indiana.
Yes, that's right.
Let's see. No coaching news that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Matt, at least for today. I guess here's one, Matthew. I still don't think LSU has put out a public statement saying they fired Matt McMahon.
Yeah, that's rough. If you could buy about 2 to 2.5 minutes, you can read hockey and baseball and NBA scores if you want to.
That's where I was doing.
I do need about 2.5 minutes.
Okay, 2.5 minutes. Well, I'll do the best I can. I might even throw there wasn't really any soccer of importance today, so that was yesterday when that happened. So anyway, see, I'm already wasting 2.5 minutes by rambling. In the NBA, Utah leads Denver 122-112 with 5:40 to go. Nikola Jokic with 29-11. So Jokic is playing and the Nuggets are trailing the Jazz. Utah fans are upset the tank might be getting spoiled. It's not getting spoiled for Washington. They're down 72-60 at halftime to Golden State. It's Dallas 56, Portland 51 at the half. Lakers lead the Nets 35-30 as they get ready to start the second quarter. Finals from tonight, Clippers beat Indiana 114-113. Boston 109, Atlanta 102. Cleveland with 149 points tonight. They beat the Miami Heat 149-128. Houston beat Memphis 119-109, 25 for Kevin Durant. Oklahoma City had a 22-0 second half run. They got 25 from SGA. They beat Chicago 131-113. I always forget I got to say it like that at least once one score like that when Matthew's on with me. And Toronto, a 119-106 winner over Nolans. So that's the NBA score sheet. National Hockey League, much needed win for Detroit. They beat Buffalo 5-2. And in the battle of original six teams who suck, Rangers beat the Blackhawks 6-1. Speaking of messing up a tank. In the Major League Baseball, games going on right now. Bottom of the ninth, Angels lead the Astros 6-2. Seattle 3, Cleveland 1. They're in the middle of the fifth. In the top of the sixth, San Diego 1-0 over Detroit. Arizona leads the Dodgers 2-1 at the bottom of the third. Earlier today, the Yankees beat the Giants 3-0, and some unwanted history for the San Francisco Giants organization. I'm trying to pull it up here. They lose today. They were shut out. Obviously, I just read the score to you. It's the first time in their history that they have been shut out in their first two games. Also, 4 hits in 2 games. That is a new record low for the franchise. As Tony Vitello, needless to say, is having a bit of a time adjusting to big league ball. Blue Jays beat the A's 3-2, Marlins 2-1 over the Rockies, and Atlanta won their opener blanking Kansas City 6-0. So that's as we're very, very early in the marathon that is the Major League Baseball season. Plenty of international friendlies in soccer. England drew 1-1 with Uruguay. Germany beat Switzerland 4-3. Spain beat Serbia 3-0. The Netherlands beat Norway 2-1. Argentina over Mauritania by 2-1. In USL League One Knoxville beat Richmond Kickers 1-0. And the Charlotte Independents beat Spokane Velocity by 4-0. Scottish Championship, Partick Thistle 3, Ross County 1. Wraith Rovers beat Ayr United by 3-0. And a reminder, tomorrow, the Elite Eight on the men's side. We'll talk more about this at halftime, or at the end of this game tonight. But Iowa and Illinois, that game will start at shortly after 6 p.m. tomorrow night. And then at about 8:49 or thereabouts, Purdue and Arizona in the West. Of course, Sunday, they've already announced the times. The Midwest Final, Michigan against the Tennessee-Iowa State winner. That will be around 2:20 thereabouts. And then 2:15. And then at roughly a little after 5 o'clock, it'll be Duke against the winner of the Michigan State-UConn game. So that's what's happening as the road to the Final Four, continuing to get ever closer to a conclusion. Here in this game, UConn 35, Michigan State 27. Despite shooting 56% for the floor and being by 19, Dan Hurley's Huskies in a little bit of some trouble at the end of the half. We'll see if Spartacus can make the push in the second half. So, Matthew Owens, I throw it back to you. Second half in D.C. This should be interesting.
Yeah, it should be. We had Pierre Moss on earlier, Seth, and he was talking about how these 4 teams and these 2 games in D.C. tonight, it just Final Four feeling in Washington, D.C. I mean,
yeah.
Final Four is going to be...
The ticket prices proved that, too.
Yeah. Final Four is going to be pretty darn good next weekend, especially if we were to get Arizona and Michigan there and Illinois and then, Duke or one of these 2. Final Four is going to be good as it always is as far as talent. But these 4 teams in this regional, man, what a 4-game,
as you
4-team
said, great
setup.
bracketing.
Yeah. Second half underway as UConn inbounds with an 8-point lead, attacking from left to right, and they get started after leading by 19 in that first half out of the gates. Caravan flexes a ball out to his right. Reed on the perimeter, hands off. Demery looking for space, slices inside, in the paint, running floater. Came up short with the right hand, and the rebound found by Fears. And Michigan State's got it coming back the other way. Ended the half on a 21-10 run. Here's the inside feed on a lead. Carson Cooper to the rim, lays it in, plus the harm. And Cooper's got a look at a 3-point play. Came out for a screen, rolled to the bucket. Fears got it to him. Caravan is the one that bumped him. Caravan the foul, Cooper the finish. And he could cut this to a 5-point game if he makes the free throw, which he does. 35-30. And here comes the Con. Once led by 19. Suddenly the lead almost nothing. Mullins feeds it left on the wing. Ball back this way. Mullins up top trying to find space to shoot. He couldn't. Entry feed for Reed. Tries to play bully ball down low on Kohler, and he got right to the rim and had an easy layup, which he leaves short with the left. Rebound Michigan State. Here's Fears out to his right. Motors in. Shoots the runner. Glass and rim miss. Rebounds out of bounds off White by the looks of it. It's going to stay with Michigan State. 66 seconds gone by in this second half. 5-point game. Fears will inbound from underneath. Capital One Arena, Washington, D.C. Feed it in on the left elbow, Kohler. Across the lane, Cooper. Entry feed, Carr. Turns. Pushed it up with the left. Missed it short. Rebound taken by Silas Demery, the junior from Raleigh, North Carolina. Left-handed dribble, top of the arc, swings it right. Caravan, catch and shoot 3, clatters off the rim. Reed tips the rebound to himself. Oh! Out of almost nowhere, Cohen Carr comes in and emasculates the big man Reed with a block. Michigan State the other way. Cooper feeds it. Carr pulls up a mid-range jumper. Top of the circle is good. Michigan State is within 3. Cohen Carr with a big play on defense. Jumper at the other end, and here we go. After a sluggish, staggering start for Michigan State, they are within 3. UConn on the ball, just beyond the left elbow. Reed backpedals, gives it to Demery. Demery a flyby drive through traffic, threads it back. Reed to the rim, had it knocked out of his hands by Cooper, who came flailing at him. Bodies hit the deck, and Michigan State's got the ball. Cohen Carr into the front court, near left corner. They could tie with a 3 here. This has been an incredible roar back from Michigan State. Fears outside right, bullet pass, left corner, caught by Carr, up for 3. Slides off the rim, rebound fought for. Reed couldn't control it cleanly, but it's out of bounds off of Cooper. It'll go to UConn. Cohen Carr showing off how explosive he is on both ends of the floor as he just flew to that ball to block it from Reed. Empty possession, though, for Michigan State, and back to UConn it will go. As here they come up the floor again with Demery. UConn is yet to score in this second half. Through the first 2:45 of it, Demery slips it into the left corner. Ball entry feed. Reed left of the lane, blitz with a double. Back outside, ball is bobbled and stolen by Tang to the rim in transition. Oh, the layup blocked! What an effort by Ball to get back on defense. Now he brings it back up, swings it right. Caravan up for 3 around the rim. Somehow it would not fall. Rebound off the floor, spiked away by Kohler. Flexed ahead for Fears. Fears starts the offense, swings it into the near left corner. Carr defended by Mullins. Carr on the deck, chisels in, spins left, rises, and puts it in with the left, plus a foul. Cohen Carr will go to the line to try to tie the score. Michigan State in full attack mode, and they have all but fully erased an early 19-point deficit with an incredible run. They're on a 28-10 run, but Carr misses the free throw that would have tied it. Rebound taken by Demery. He'll slowly dribble right side of the floor, across midcourt, into the front court to our right. Left-handed knee-high dribble, switches to his right. Now dribbles left, feeds it quickly for Reed, then the return for Demery, who tried to drive on Fears, who slips. Demery swings it left. Mullins flipped it into the left corner. Caravan squibbed it to the head of the key. Demery on the perimeter with the shot clock winding down. It's at 3, it's at 2. He gives it to Mullins, who forces it up! Oh, and it drops! Mullins had no time to gather and get into a shooting stance. He just forced it up. And Mullins gets it to drop. His second 3 pushes the lead back up to 4. Just a little bit of breathing space here now for UConn again. Carr centering feed, top of the arc. Cooper had it stolen by Reed, who leads the break, goes to the rim, oh, and crams it down. Reed in transition with those long strides and heavy elevation for a one-handed smackdown. 40-34. Reed into double-figure scoring for the 27th time this year. Fears out of the right corner, whips a cross-court pass. Carr receives it into the lane from the left, twisting and turning through 2 defenders. Nearly had it ripped away by Demery. He does. Ball on the floor. Bodies hit the floor. And it's going to be a held ball. Michigan State will have it with the arrow, and that'll lead us to a timeout. Michigan State out of the gates hot to start the half. Cut it to 1. But UConn with 5 quick ones in a row. 3 from Mullins and 2 harsh points on a slam from Reed. It's a 6-point lead for UConn. We're going to have another dramatic game here on this floor tonight in Washington, D.C. Perhaps we will.
Yep.
As UConn and Michigan State. Yes.
I feel bad for saying it like this, but when people get on your nerves long enough, the Owens sarcastic will grind on me. Will get to me. But Matthew, I was told this effing sucked because Furman and Wright State hadn't gone this far. I mean, well, I mean, which, by the way, I know there were some stats about, lopsided, but, if you look strictly, was I the only one that thought the complaining about the first 2 days was a little overblown, too?
Oh, it absolutely was.
I mean, because you look at the margin of victory, sure, but if you actually watched a lot of those first round games, I mean, they were close. I mean, or had storylines. I mean, my God, Akron was in there with Texas Tech. I mean, we don't need to talk about the 116 game in Greenville. I mean, my God. I mean,
Wright State
I
and
just wish everybody
Furman.
would relax. What now?
Wright State and Furman competed.
I mean, I wish that people that claim to like this sport would just calm down and relax.
Yeah, I mean, well, you said it all right there. We had a 9 beat a 1. We had another 9 in Utah State give Arizona a run. TCU was leading with about 15 minutes left against Duke. I mean, I don't know. Kentucky and Santa Clara is going to go as an all-timer. I don't.
TCU, Ohio State.
I really didn't. I was not left from those first 4 days feeling jobbed.
Well, definitely not in the second round. But again, I didn't feel like. I mean, again, I didn't think if you watched the game start to finish, you'd realize that the first 2 days weren't. The first round wasn't as bad as some people were making it out to be. It wasn't chicken. It's not the Chicken Little NCAA tournament. How about that?
Yeah.
Real quick, 47 seconds to play first half in Chicago, and it's a 33-32 lead for the Cyclones over the Volunteers. As Iowa State is... look, Danny Gurley is now cosplaying as Jonathan the Husky with his ring salute.
And I'm telling
He's
you
what,
what, I mean, if anyone thought, and I don't know why you would think this, but if anyone thought that Chicago wasn't going to be Hilton East, Iowa State fans are all over that place.
What did I tell you? I said Tennessee was playing a road game.
Yeah. Michigan State inbounds out of the timeout. They trail by 6. They once trailed by 19. Ball in the hands of Fears, as it so often is. Kohler a screen. He gets open on the right wing. Fakes a 3. Drives the closeout. Gets inside. Then Reed popped it out of his hands. It's back out with the shot clock winding down. And somehow Jordan Scott sticks a 3. Oh my goodness. A hash mark triple that he had to just throw up and say a prayer. Makes this a 3-point game. First points of the game for Jordan Scott, the freshman from Virginia. UConn ball, Mullins entry feed. Here's Reed, mid-post left. He backs in on Kohler. He fakes right, he fakes left, he goes right, he hooks it up. It's no good. Caravan sneaks in to get the offensive rebound and stick back. 42-37, 5-point game, 5.5 gone second half. Fears once again with the ball in his hands. Cooper at the scorer's table set to check in at the next whistle for Michigan State. Fears zigzagging. Splits through 2 defenders to the rim. He goes! Oh, and he misses the finger roll! Caravan rebounds. Fears did everything right there except finish right at the rim. Meanwhile, Demery for UConn. Between the legs on the dribble with Fears in front of him defensively. High, hard dribble from Demery. Caravan comes over for a weave. Here's Demery still with it. Right corner. Shot clock at single figures. He turns the corner into the lane for the right. Running floater right-handed. Missed it short. Rebound up for grabs. Reed had it. Lost it. Kohler got it for Michigan State. Outletted for Fears. Entry feed. Taken by Ward. He spins left. Caravan blocks the shot as Ward turned to face him. It's a 5-on-4 power play here for UConn if they can hurry. Caravan spots it. Shoots a 3. Left hash mark. Triple will not go. Swirling miss. Off the floor. Fears the rebound. He'll slow the pace just a bit. Left-handed dribble on the blue and black midcourt logo for March Madness. Demery defends. One-handed hook pass into the right corner. Taken by Scott. On the deck, he drives. He stumbles. He staggers. He gets back to his feet. Comes back to the perimeter. Nearly traveled. Got it back to Fears. Kohler screens. Fears back for Kohler. Extra feed right corner. Scott gathers up for 3. It's blocked. Reed with the rejection. And then Scott punched it out of his arms, out of bounds. It'll stay with UConn, who's getting some more defensive stops here ever since Michigan State got it to within 1. So UConn with possession will bring it back up. Seth, we just reached halftime in Chicago, yes?
Yeah. Absolutely, and it is the Big Orange who stopped the presses, made 2 free throws at the end of the first half, and they lead 34-33. Tennessee trying to make the Elite Eight for the 3rd straight year, still chasing that elusive first Final Four. And I got a Tennessee basketball question at the next break.
Caravan with a runner, glass and rim miss. Rebound down to Tang, forwarded on, and Michigan State with the ball again. Fears off the floor, which is rare for this team. Denim Wojcik dribbled his way underneath, kicked it to the right corner, and the 3 is good. Wojcik gets the assist as Tang fires down the 3. Makes it a 2-point game. You don't get Fears on the bench often. UConn needs to take advantage. Caravan trying. Down the middle he drives. Gets to the rim and lays it in against the defensive Cooper. 44-40. Here comes Wojcik again up the floor. Transfer from Harvard. Wears number 10 in green and white. Dribbles right. Shuffles it onto the wing. Cross-court feed. Took a deflection. Tang was able to run it down. Threads it to the top of the arc. Carson Cooper holds by his left hip. Swings it left on the wing. 24-year-old Trey Fort turns the corner. Downhill drive underneath. Got hip checked from behind by Jaden Ross. Fort ends up on the deck. Foul is called on the floor. Timeout with under 12 to go in regulation time. UConn up by 4.
So, here's the Tennessee basketball question I had weekend. I had for you. I don't know where I got that from. Anyway, I turned dyslexic for 3 seconds. But anyway, so I've been torn on this for a long time, but I think after last week, I think I have now changed I've made my feeling on it here. Do you agree with me now in saying that Rick Barnes has surpassed Bruce Pearl as Tennessee's best men's basketball coach of all time?
Yes. Not close.
Because Pearl never went to only went to 1 Elite Eight, whereas Barnes is now being 3 straight or 4 straight or 3 straight Elite Eights if he wins. He never went to a Elite Eight, and Pearl never went to 4 straight Sweet 16s.
Yep.
Okay, I just want to make sure I wasn't in the prisoner of the moment on that. Okay.
I'm with you.
By the way, Duke and LSU are going back and forth. 59-57 Blue Devils in Sacramento. 4:51 play in the 3rd.
LSU, the national champions from just a couple of years ago. Duke, who did nearly beat South Carolina last year in a regional final.
I'm telling you what, and this is always the guy who I just think is just, who thinks, you need to be good on multiple ends, not just good on one end. But Duke plays defense so good under Carroll Lawson that their D keeps them in any game. If they can make some shots in games, watch out. And your reminder, there was somebody on Twitter. I still think about this person on Twitter after Duke lost that game at one of those preseason tournaments where they ended the game with just 4 players. Someone said Carroll Lawson couldn't coach. Yeah, I got those words for you. Me culo. Let's see. It is 1-0 in points, Savannah, but still no scoreless on runs. We're in the bottom of the 6th with 39.5 minutes left. This makes no sense to me. But anyway, oh, Lord. Oh, my God. So, Reese Alexiades. And now back to Matthew Owens in Washington, D.C., because they're out of break.
And the inbound coming in for Michigan State. And it's bounced inside to Cooper, who had it punched away, but it's recovered on the outside, and the three is jacked up and missed off the heel. Mullins comes away with the rebound. And here comes UConn. Malachi Smith feeds it left. Entry feed by Jaden Ross. Caravan, cross-court Mullins, catch and shoot three. Right corner, no. Flying in, Ross tried to snatch the offensive rebound, but it's out of bounds off him. So it'll go to Michigan State again. As now get to this portion of the game here, and Michigan State down by so much earlier in the game. Now they've trimmed it. They trimmed it all the way down to 1. Now it's 4, as here's Fears just turning on the accelerator needlessly, and he lost the ball. Caravan with a steal, and UConn in transition, and they can't finish. Ross missed a driving layup, and it's out of bounds off the foot of a Husky. It went off Mullins. As Ross went at full speed to the rim, Cooper stayed with him. Did he block it? No, he didn't block it. He affected it, but Cooper didn't block it, and Ross just missed that off the underside of the glass. I think, that might have gone off of Cooper's foot. If Dan Hurley wanted to challenge that, he could get it turned around. That clearly, it went off of Mullins' foot, but then it hit off his foot and off Cooper's foot. Now, yes, we are going to get a UConn challenge. So Dan Hurley's going to challenge. And he's going to win this challenge.
Challenge or an appeal?
And he's going to win this challenge. So UConn's going to keep the ball. But UConn's taking some really dumbfounding shots.
Surprised Dan Hurley hasn't combusted over there.
If they ever lose the lead, he probably will. What I was going to say before all that broke off, Seth, was now that Michigan State has bridged the gap and they're back in the game, now you wonder if they can settle back into what would normally be their game. Because, they had to play differently to climb back from that 19-point deficit. Now can they get back to playing the way they want to play now that it's basically back to a normal game?
Indeed.
We haven't heard from JT in a while. JT, are you taking in the banana ball? Are you producing Formula One aggressively? Can you even talk?
He's doing all of it.
If you can't talk, it's okay. But we haven't heard from you in a while. We do miss you around here. We enjoy having your presence.
He's having the time of the life watching Batman go dizzy. You kidding me?
Yes, and that's not, Robin's friend. That is the Bat
exactly.
Man, not, to the bat poles.
Yes.
Oh, and here we go. Oh, my God. These two look absolutely... Look at that guy. That guy must be a heavy drinker because he's done quite well going in a straight line after all of that spinning and twirling and pivoting and gyrating.
Wow. That's, Matthew, Wow, we're calling people alcoholics now.
He's
wow.
nearly stumbled off the base pad. Now he's trying to get to second. It's pretty much a neck-and-neck race. The big man in what looks to be an Astro shirt. Oh, and now he goes down to a knee. Here we go, spinning around, 3 bats in hand, head down on the knob of the bats, and spinning round and round. And now the man in white gets out in front of the man in blue, but here they come. Down the stretch into base number 3. Who's going to get there first? It's the man in white. He gets there by just a 1/10 of a second. Here goes the final spins, the final pivots, the final cycles. Here they are, and the man in white takes off, and here he goes. The man in blue, he is drunk. He's going to fall. The man in white's fallen across the tape and won.
Matthew, that looks like me if me and you were doing this. As big as those gentlemen were, my God.
And now Frankie Muscatiello, Epanza comes in.
God.
Hey, Paisan. How you doing? Muscatiello. I like carbonara.
I just like how you went Paisan, then went to a normal voice. How you doing?
What the hell is MPI? Is that minutes per inning?
I don't know, but Dan Hurley did win his challenge.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, the thing we're actually supposed to be doing on this network.
It's no one has scored a run, but it is 2-0 in favor of the Bananas. 33 minutes on the clock. It does stay UConn ball. We knew that Dan Hurley was going to win that challenge. Mullins on the inbound, looped to the top of the circle. Caravan swings it. Mullins catching fire 3. It's off the back of the rim. Long rebound right back to him. Then he tried to slither back inside. Punched out of his grasp by Scott. Out of bounds. Stays with UConn. Shot clock at 18. Michigan State, by the way, has not committed a foul in the first 9 minutes of this second half. There's a missed throw at first. And he'll get all the way to second. And now the clown. Might take off to third. Nope, thought better of it.
By the way, next dead ball in the basketball, a rather stupid development happened in the world of women's basketball. And I'm not talking about in the college game either.
UConn.
And it has nothing to do with labor deals either.
UConn gets it in. Caravan chisels up right baseline. Slips it into the left corner. Shot clock winding down. Ross at the foul line tried to give it back to Mullins. It was bobbled. Shot clock winding down. A desperation 3 by Smith heaved up. Off the glass, no good. Ball never hit the rim. That's a shot clock violation and a UConn turnover. And Dan Hurley's going to get solo ball back into the game. Junior out of Leesburg, Virginia. One of the many
crying about it. It's a shot clock violation.
One of the many former national champions on this UConn team. Got Caravan.
Usually that's Matthew groaning about Izzo, not me. It's role reversal this year.
And, Fears nearly threw it right in the arms of Smith. Fears recovers off the deflection. Entry feed inside and twisting and turning through defenders is Carr, and he elevates and scores. 44-42 as we near the midway point of the second half. UConn by 2. They've led by as many as 19. Terrace Reed at the scorer's table set to check back in for Dan Hurley at the next whistle. Smith gallops and hopscotches to the top of the arc. Feeds it left. Catch and shoot 3. Ball missed off the heel. High for the rebound went Cooper, and Michigan State can tie or take the lead. Fears quick pass inside. Kohler collapsing to the rim. Scores! Plus the foul on Ball, and Michigan State has completely erased a 19-point deficit. This game is tied, and they can take the lead at the line with Jackson Kohler. My goodness. Fears with a great pocket pass to Kohler, who never broke stride. And the senior from Utah, who's an 86% foul shooter. To put Michigan State in front, he does. 45-44. They led briefly at 4-3. And now they lead at 45-44. 10 minutes to go in regulation time. Winner to play Duke here on Sunday in the regional final. Caravan head fake off left wing. Gets inside, threads it to Reed, who comes right back and puts UConn in front. After trailing very briefly, right-handed layup off glass and good. Fears at the other end. Kohler with a screen to clear it out. Fears to the rim. Layup blocked by Reed. Loose ball popcorns around. Michigan State still has it. Carr to the top of the arc. Cooper a jab step. He dribbles right. He hands off. It's Fears. Reed on a hedge. Defender is Ball primarily. Fears on the entry feed. A bounce to Cooper. Mid-post right trying to bat down Reed. That's a tough proposition. He turns around on him and hits the fadeaway jumper. Instead of trying to bull your way through, finesse your way around. Carson Cooper puts Michigan State in front. Back and forth we go now, 47-46. UConn ball, it's Ball with it in his hands. Outside right, slingshots it left to the head of the arc. Now Caravan slips it in. Reed going to try to return the favor at the other end. He does. Turning left, he hits the hook against Kohler, and Kohler's called for a foul. Reed tries for a three-point play at the line. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like with one of these two teams playing Duke here on Sunday. Good gracious.
You said a mouthful.
You want intensity, and I don't know how much higher the intensity level can go from what it was earlier tonight, but winner of this game to play Duke on Sunday, goodness gracious. Carr and Cooper to the bench for Michigan State. Reed with a foul shot to push the lead to 2. He cannot do it. And the rebound grab two-handed by Ward out of Upper Marlboro, Maryland, not too far away. Fears dribbles into the front court, right-handed dribble. Demery defends. Screen comes Kohler. Fears hooks it to Kohler. Top of the arc, a 3. No. Rebound taken by Ross. Connecticut ball, up 1. Solo ball into the front court. Fears stays on him. Edge of the March Madness logo at midcourt. Flip to the left corner. Caravan catches, fires, and connects from 3. One of the great winners in recent college basketball history, Alex Caravan. Twice a national champion here at UConn. With another 3. He's got 12. Fears, dribble, drive in from the right. Oh, wow. Hits a falling down floater off glass. Ended up on the seat of his pants after he put up the shot, finished anyway. Under 8 to go. What a thriller for a second time tonight. Demery left-handed dribble. He scans, he scales, he probes, he passes. Left wing Caravan, entry feed Reed. No look pass up top Demery. Demery into traffic. They tried to tie him up, and Ward was able to strip it. Away with the steal, Fears. He had it poked away from behind at the other end, but a foul is called as Fears is on the deck. And now he gets up and starts waving to the Michigan State fans as if he did something, nearly had his pocket picked. Timeout on the floor, 7:40 left, 2-point game. JT is back with us visually. Where'd the baseball go?
You can have the you can have the banana boy if you so wish to have the banana boy.
I know. I'm just glad to see you again. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I have returned, and so have the.
I want to see that. I want to see that JT's lovely face. It's good to see that again. But
we called a bat race earlier.
There's no way you actually called that.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Was that the one where they were going around the
Round
bases, collecting the bats, and then spinning.
Yep, round and round they went.
Yep.
But so here's the stupid thing in women's basketball, and again, neither one of us are like big fans, or experts of the WNBA, to put it mildly. But
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm the Stephen A. Smith of the WNBA.
No, to do that, you would have to actually give analysis on it, even though you don't know what's going on. But anyway, the point I'm going to make, this is just downright stupid. This, even with this is just the downright stupidest thing. The Connecticut Sun are relocating to Houston.
I know. I did hear that is so beyond dumb. That
is so bad. Listen, I'm no Connecticut women's basketball fan by any stretch, but you mean to tell me the place with the best women's college basketball team, who I'm led to believe supports the WNBA team too, is moving? And do we think Houston's going to give it that much more support?
Yeah, that's...
oh, my God.
I cannot believe how stupid that is. I cannot believe how stupid that is.
Is that two Houstons, or are we talking Texas Houston?
Yeah, Houston, Texas, yes.
Why is a team called Connecticut moving to Texas?
Because American sports ownership, sometimes, JT, have more money. Actually, a lot of them have more money than sense.
Well, and again, Connecticut is like the mecca of women's basketball. Or it's one of the meccas, if not the mecca.
No, don't make me feel better. I can admit it's the mecca. It's the mecca of overall college basketball, if you think about it.
And so their WNBA team going away is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. And like I said, I can't imagine that Houston is going... So Houston may support it well. I can't imagine they're going to support it better than Connecticut did. By the way, speaking of stupid, the plan of these collegiate athletes just, suing over and over until, a court agrees with them and then grants them eligibility. It has happened to Trinidad Chambliss. He will be back next year. He is eligible.
But yet Joey Aguilar's got denied. Okay,
Joey can just sue again and find another, judge to go his direction.
Well, did you see T.J. Finley is now declaring for the draft instead of playing at Incarnate Word?
Michigan State inbounds.
Good job. You're not an NFL quarterback.
Here's Fears losing the dribble but regaining it with 8 to shoot. He'll slice up the middle. The hole is open, and his floater around the rim wouldn't go. Out of bounds off the hand of Cam Ward. It'll belong to UConn. Still at halftime in Chicago. Feels like halftime was half an hour ago. Here's UConn. Just 7
You're
of
telling me.
7 of 22 from the field in this second half, UConn. As Ball gets it at the head of the arc, he zigzags left, he puts it on the deck, he loses it! Fears with a steal. It's 2-on-3 the other way, so Fears will hit the brakes and let some green support come to him. He hits it to a trailing Cooper at the head of the key. Back for Fears on the midcourt logo with under 7 to go. Screen comes from Tang. He rolls to the basket. Fears holds it himself. Reed hedges. Fears bounce pass top of the circle. Cooper dives in, spins, and with the fall-away jumper all the way around the rim, it would not fall. It leaks off the left. Rebound UConn with Jaden Ross. UConn with a chance to extend the lead here. Demery handles, left-handed dribble, Carr defends, looping pass, Reed catches, outside left, he turns and faces Ward, now he puts his back to him, but there's contact, and Ward is called for a foul on the floor. That is just the second team foul to go against Michigan State in this second half. Second half has just now started, just as I say that, it gets underway in Chicago. Later this year.
Thank you for telling me so I can turn it from the Duke LSU game.
UConn inbounds later this year. NASCAR will go to Chicago, and it'll be won by Joey Logano. Not if he runs like he did last week. Here's a runner that would not fall for Demery. Draws a foul.
It'll be won by Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick may just win them all. My best Mark Martin voice.
Tennessee has hit a 3 right out of the breaks in the second half. Free throws for Ball. And his first one is good. UConn leading by 3. Again, tomorrow, first 2 Final Four spots will be punched. We've got all 4 regional finals on this channel. Just note that it will be this channel. As the second free throw goes down, Malachi Smith comes in for UConn. All 4 regional finals on this channel starting tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Illinois, Iowa, followed by Purdue, Arizona. 3-9 versus 3 versus 9, then a 1 versus 2. Fears for Michigan State gets to the foul line, pulls up with a jumper. Line drive left it well short. Reed, though, could not handle the rebound. It's off him and out of bounds. And again, Sunday times have been announced. Michigan will play either Iowa State or Tennessee at 2 p.m. on Sunday, and then followed by Duke against the winner of this game. Michigan State on the inbound. Cooper slips it in. Kohler turns right, hooks it up. Twice off the rim, no. Scrap for the rebound. Run down by Reed, who saved it from going out of bounds as he got it to Ball. Ball across midcourt sets the offense for UConn in a half-court set. To the hash mark just in front of Dan Hurley. Centered ball for Ball, who drives down the middle. Right between the pipes he goes. Lefty layup is good. Michigan State fought back to take the lead. Ever since then, UConn's gone on a run. They lead by 6 again. Here's Fears. Right-handed dribble. He looks to his left. He slashes to his right. He throws up a lob that's contested. Could not be gathered in cleanly by Cooper. UConn ball the other way. Great thread pass in transition. And Jaden Ross could not finish, but he draws a foul. It was a tremendous thread of the needle bounce pass by Malachi Smith. Ross will go to the line. Bill Murray in the seats here. I know he's got skin in the game with who is an assistant coach at UConn as Ross hits the first free throw. But how many damn teams does that guy have? I feel like he is at a lot of games supporting a lot of teams.
I'm glad somebody mentioned it.
Ross with a second free throw. Could push this lead back to 8, but it misses. And Cohen Carr secures the rebound. Outlet it on for Fears. Michigan State's gone on to another scoring drought. Not quite like they had earlier in the game, but they haven't scored in 3 minutes. Fears bounce pass left arc. Scott back for Fears behind a screen. Tried to carve out a lane. Instead gave it up to Cooper. Now it's Fears again. Zigging and zagging. Bounces it on a wrap. Onto the right elbow for Cooper that Reed fouls him on a reach. 4:48 to play. Michigan State to inbound from underneath. Fears loops it in over the top to Kohler. Kohler catches, dribbles left, back to Fears on a handoff. Swings it. Cooper, right wing, into the corner. Baseline drive, Carr. Turns it back to a trailer. Oh! And Carson Cooper erupts on the rim! Carson Cooper throws down the hammer. 5-point game, 4.5 to go. Could that be a momentum-shifting rim rattler? UConn brings it back up to our right, handled by Smith. Smith, a right-handed dribble, swings it right. Ball on the wing, bounce for Reed. He's way outside, back for Ball, catches, shoots a three off the heel, rebound up for grabs. Cooper had it, then he got fouled by Reed on the floor, but Michigan State's in the bonus. This is going to be free throws for Cooper at the other end, just moments after testing the limitations of the vibrations of that rim. Two big free throws.
Dr. Seuss Owens, who's now joining the commentary.
Two big free throws here. I have 1 and 1 actually, but it is big free throws. 4:08 to go here. And here's Cooper out of Jackson, Michigan. 79% foul shooter on the season. Front end is good. And down the stretch here, you're going to have to make your fouls. Saw how difficult it was for Duke to close out St. John's earlier as they were missing key free throws late. Cooper hits both. 3-point game. Fears gets a breather on the bench. This will be the last time he's on that bench. They're going to get him some time here on the north side of the media timeout. Then he'll have the media timeout itself to get air in the lungs because he won't be on that bench again tonight unless he fouls out in multiple overtimes. Reed at the other end after picking up his third foul goes right to work, spin cycles to the rim and lays it in off glass. Michigan State at the other end of the floor with Denham Wojcik, who is in to give that time off for Fears. And Wojcik, how well can he quarterback this team until the next whistle? Kohler, mid-post right. They blitz him with a double. Mullins and Caravan around him. Out for Carr. Extra feet up top. Scott, dribble drive to the rim. Goes in strong and lays it in. 3:20 left. 3-point game. And UConn should want this clock to tick, not only because they're in the lead, but keep this clock running with Fears on the bench. Reed with a pass inside. Mullins couldn't handle it. It's out of bounds. So much for that. Clock stops immediately. It'll stay with UConn. And with 3:08 left, down the stretch we go. In Washington, he looks so stupid. It's a 3-point lead for UConn.
To my Hurley, I presume, right?
He looked like a duck. God Almighty! What in the world? Oh, hold on. Now, let me get back on camera and show everyone watching what we were just shown by CBS in slow motion. Slow motion probably made it that much more hilarious.
Oh God! See, I can't see you, so I'm gonna have to pull up the live stream.
Anyway, Banana Ball playing at Angel Stadium in Anaheim. Do you know that the Angels, Seth Eves?
He just got you making it like a little kiss for Matthew.
The Angels, Seth Eves, they have won tonight, beating Houston 6-2. Do you know what that means?
I think I read this, but I'm in a good mood, so I'll let you tell it.
The Angels are 2-0. The Angels have not been 2-0 since 2007. 2 years before Mike Trout was drafted.
It could be a double Duke kind of night. They just went up 10 with 5 minutes to play.
Wow.
In Sacramento against the Bayou Bengals. 46-39 Tennessee at the under 16 timeout in Chicago.
Wow. Is that the Dukies?
Oh, yes. Wow.
There's a tweet. What was that Dan Hurley face?
It was something. I did catch the tail end of it, but you're doing that little kissy face motion was what was
yeah,
stupid.
So strange. JT, go on.
Did you just see that near take out of the picture by a broken bat?
Oh no, I did not.
Look at how close this was.
Uh-oh.
That's how close it is.
Oh!
Oh, wow.
Holy shattered bat, man.
No.
Oh, dropping bars.
Dropping bars.
That's all I do is spit bars, fam.
Oh God. I was watching that Post Malone and Happy Gilmore too. DJ, oh my gosh, it's bitching to be here, Vern. It's bitching to be here, Matthew and JT.
Oh no!
DJ,
Stop it, both of you! Stop!
That movie, like I haven't even seen the movie. I just saw that clip. That movie was Vern's part of it is all I need to know about how stupid it is.
Hold on, I want to change my profile picture.
Oh God! I swear to God! I swear to God, if you do what you just did, I'm gonna try to strangle you through the computer.
UConn inbounding, 3 minutes to go. Kind of an important final 3-minute stretch here. Caravan, entry feed, Reed, backs in, kicks out, Caravan straight on 3, no. Rebound up for grabs. Kohler trying to save it from going out of bounds. He heroically does. Into the hands of Jordan Scott, and great Scott. Michigan State with a chance to tie with a 3. Here's Fears behind the back of the dribble. He lost the ball. He got too fancy with the footwork. And at the other end, he fouls Smith on the floor. .241 left. UConn is not in the bonus, so that will not be free throws. And Caravan gets the ball in. Near side front court to Reed. Reed around off the left wing, Smith. Hooked back this way, Ball. Ball a jab step. Return for Smith. Plenty of time on the shot clock. It's at 15. Smith and Ball play catch on the perimeter. Ball off the top of the arc. A return for Smith. Now they're starting to squeeze that shot clock down. It's at 7, and it's an offensive foul away from the ball. Caravan trying to set a screen on Fears. Oh, dear. So here's Michigan State. Huge possession as Fears brings it up. Caravan, that last foul, his 3rd. Off right elbow. Fears picked up his dribble. Someone needs to come and help him. Cooper does. Cooper back for Carr. Now Fears again as we strike the final 2 minutes. Fears directs it down the lane. Cooper to the rim. Wow! Just strides his way inside and slams it down to make this a 1-point game. UConn calls for time. $1:50 to go. 1-point game. Oh boy, the nice head fake by Cooper. And another rim-rattling slam by the senior with the 2nd longest wingspan on this Michigan State team. He can get up. Seth's mic is muted, but he says he hates me. Nothing new there. UConn really has had
I was waiting.
so many chances.
I was waiting for a Discord profile picture change, but I've just seen that diabolical mess on Twitter. Matthew Owens, you are something else.
UConn has had so many chances to put this game away. Caravan inbounds near side front court, throws it back for Demery, and here we go. Demery feeds ball off right wing, entry feed Reed, draws a double, kick out, Caravan, deep three, got it! Caravan sinks an enormous three from way out. His third of the night. UConn by 4. Michigan State needs a response. Fears on the drive on the left elbow. Backpedals. Will UConn switch everything on the perimeter? They probably need to. Reed is the one defending Fears. He loops it inside. Now they double. Leave Fears alone up top for his own three, which he pours in. Jeremy striking fear into the defense of the Huskies with an answered three to make it a 1-point game with 1 minute to go. UConn ball into the front court. Reed a shovel on the perimeter, taken by Demery. Out to his left, he glides, he strides, he feeds. Mullins entry feed erupting inside of the rim. Reed puts it up, no, but he draws contact and a foul on Kohler. And Reed will shoot.
Attempt off a perfect stop.
Reed will shoot free throws. He'll shoot 2. He's a 59% foul shooter. He needs to come up with big ones here, and the first one is good. 2-point lead, 45 seconds left. UConn trying to advance to yet another Elite Eight. They're 8-1 this season in games decided by 5 points or less. Their only loss was at home to Arizona way back at the start of the season. Reed rattles home number 2. UConn by 3, Michigan State ball. Fears into the front court. All 3 timeouts that you have available to you in the second half. Tom Izzo will use one here. 41.5 seconds left. We're winding it down on what has been just a Der Klassiker in the District of D.C. But Seth, keep us updated on what's going on in Chi-Town and Sacktown.
Well, Tennessee's opened it up a bit in Chi-Town. They're up 11 with 13:32 to go. 52-41 lead for the Vols as the 6th seed out of the SEC. Last bullet in the gun for the Southeastern Conference, trying to make sure the league will have at least one Elite Eight representative in it. Meanwhile, in Sacktown, the women's tournament, 3:28 to go. 84-77, Duke on top of LSU, trying to make their second straight Elite Eight. Back to you, Matthew, at the Lincoln Monument, where there'll be a race in the summer.
Yes, let's go to the Lincoln Monument. Let's go to Lincoln Corner. 41.5 seconds left here. Be a huge day for Duke University if they can get that victory with the women. Toby Fournier and company heading towards perhaps back-to-back Elite Eight appearances. I would say a regional final. It's more like a quadrant final in that stupid bracket. Who did they beat last year to make the Elite? It was North Carolina. Of course it was, in that game that was like played in the 30s. Michigan State will inbound far side front court. It was like 40-30 something. That was a weird game. Michigan State to inbound. Tang gets it in. Fears has it. And Michigan State must score. Fears drifting left. He just hit a big 3. He'll drive inside here, and he missed the runner, but he drew a foul. Easy for me to say. Fears will go to the line. The foul is on Demery. 32 seconds to go. Fears will go to the line. He's 89%. But he did miss his only free throw earlier tonight. 2 shots. Deep bend of the knees, flick of the wrist, it's good. Michigan State is 11-5 in Sweet 16 games under Tom Izzo, 15-7 in this round all time. But UConn, in the last 3 NCAA tournaments, are 15-1. Fear's second free throw, skyward and good. He hits them both. You got 2 timeouts left both ways, and Tom Izzo will use one here. Back to you, Seth. If any score has changed. I know we were right there to you a moment ago.
Indeed, you're good. Update Tennessee now. It's 84-79 Duke with 2:22 to play in Sacktown. 54-41 Tennessee with 12:56 to go in Chi-Town. Is it going to be yet another disappointing tournament exit for the men from Ames?
No Jefferson, of course, hurts them mightily, but to lose, as we talked about earlier, what is...
I'll tell you, it's hurt. It is really hurting them in the low post. Tennessee's just, at least they're just owning the glass and the physicality of it. Tennessee's been the much tougher team so far.
To lose this game, if they do, which, as we mentioned earlier, a virtual home game. We know Tennessee fans travel, but I mean, it looks like an Iowa State home game. That would be disappointing. Long way to go there, though. Meanwhile, not a lot of time left here. 32 3/10 seconds. UConn leads by 1. And the Huskies to inbound it with Caravan, with all kinds of bodies in the backcourt. He gets it into Ball. The return goes for Caravan. And now back for Ball. They haven't fouled yet. Now Ball gets it into the front court to Caravan. And now they will have to foul, and they do with 22.5 seconds left. And Caravan, an 85% foul shooter, will go to the line. UConn as a team, they do struggle from the line. Under 72% for the season, 222nd in the country. But Caravan, a terrific foul shooter, will shoot 1 and 1. There's Dale Francis Jr. at the plate. Could say that's Dale Jr. Wonder if he won 2 Grand National Championships to get him into the Hall of Fame. Caravan has not taken free throws tonight. 1 and 1, and he hits the front end. On the other end, Michigan State is in the double bonus, but UConn has the possession arrow. Timeouts left both ways. 1 more for Caravan. Southborough, Massachusetts senior. Knocks down 2 huge ones. 22.5 seconds left. Inbound to Fears. We'll see if Tom Izzo uses another timeout. Not for now. They need to score on this trip. Doesn't absolutely have to be a 3. Fears hits the spin button to get inside. Backpedals out. Now they're getting into territory where they have to take the 3. Fears gives it up on the right. The 3 is jacked up. Tang misses off the heel. Rebound up for grabs, and a whistle with 4 seconds left. And a foul in the scrap for the rebound. That was not a good possession at all. Fears just dribbled into no man's land, but the foul is on UConn, so Cooper will get free throws. And again, they're in the double bonus, so he'll get 2. But goodness, just really leaked the air out of the possession, did Fears. Officials went to the monitor to check and see if more time should be added. They added an additional 0.6. We're at 4.6. 2 free throws Cooper. Needs to make them both. He does, swish the first. He's 79% for the season. Cooper, who had great opening round game against North Dakota State, scoring 20 and rebounding 10. Timeout taken by UConn. 4.6 left in regulation time. Winner will play Duke in D.C. on Sunday for a trip to the Final Four. Final Four tickets about to be clinched starting tomorrow. 2 regional finals tomorrow, 2 more, of course, on Sunday. We'll have all 4 of them for you on this channel. Starting tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Iowa and Illinois, followed by Purdue and Arizona. So that timeout again was taken by UConn. Here's Cooper at the line for his second free throw to make it a 1-point difference. He misses short. The rebound taken by Reed. And Reed is fouled quickly with 3.6 on the clock. And an enormous missed free throw by Cooper will give UConn a chance to clinch it at the line. But it is Terrace Reed that's going to the line. He's only 59% for the season. It will be 1-1. They added some extra time on the clock. It's at 4 seconds flat. And Terrace Reed, 2 of 4 from the line tonight. 59% for the season, 1-1 with his team up by 2 in the final 4 seconds. A final 4 seconds to reach an Elite 8. Reed with 2 dribbles of the ball, bend to the knees. Free throw is up. It's good. It's a 3-point game. 1 timeout left both ways. Michigan State needs a miss from a guy that on average makes just barely 1 out of 2, just over it for an average. But the second one is good. UConn by 4 with 4 seconds left. Timeout, Tom Izzo. Final timeout for Michigan State. But time's about to run out on their season. We are going to sign off after this game ends. So because we're signing off right as this game ends, real quick, Seth, some drama towards the end of that game in Sacramento.
Yeah, Duke has fallen apart here. LSU is on an 8-0 run over the last 2.5 minutes. We are in an appeal to determine whether or not the ball belongs to LSU or Duke. Now, LSU down 1. It was a tight situation. Did the ball come off of the rap queen, Flau'jae Johnson? Or does it come off of Duke number 12 here? Oh, boy. This is intense.
Yep.
I will shut up because I can't see the time, and I don't know what your situation is, so go ahead.
Very good. 4 seconds left. Michigan State inbounding down by 4. A long heave into the front court is swatted away into the hands of Caravan. And his career lives to see one more game, and UConn is going to the Elite 8. It's going to be Duke and UConn for a spot in the Final Four. UConn holds on from 19 points up right out of the gates. They survive Michigan State's massive push. And the Huskies will head to the regional final in D.C. Michigan State bows out. And the top 2 seeds in the East forge forward to create a tournament game that many, many, many wanted to see. Hurley and Shire, Duke and UConn, trip to the Final Four Sunday evening. Be there or be square. Wow. UConn takes out Michigan State. Their season comes to an end with a 4-point loss in D.C., and now 3 of the 4 regional final matchups are set. Tomorrow, Illinois, Iowa at 6, followed by Arizona, Purdue. Sunday, Michigan at 2:15 against either Iowa State or Tennessee, followed by Duke and Connecticut in D.C. What a glamorous couple of games this was tonight in the district. And in the end, Duke by 5, UConn by 4, and we've got the Devils and the Huskies for a spot in the Final Four on Sunday. One final update from Seth, and we will head out on what has been a tremendous night.
10:22 to play in Chicago. Tennessee up 57-45 on Iowa State. Meanwhile, Duke appealed to make sure if it would be Duke's ball, but the call was upheld. LSU is going to have the ball down 1 with 18 seconds left. As Matthew mentioned, we'll have all 4 regional finals on this channel starting tomorrow at 6 Eastern with Iowa and Illinois. That's followed by Purdue and Arizona, while a mouthwater in the West. Then Sunday, it starts at 2:30 or 2:20 with Michigan and taking on the winner of the Tennessee-Iowa State game. And then the Elite Eight game that'll feel like a championship game, UConn and Duke, will be the Sunday game. For Pierre Moss, JT, and Matthew Owens, I'm Seth Eves. So long and good night. The madness is now all but down to its last 8.